What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And before we get into today's video, guys, just like always, look, if you're someone you like those legends of the game, talking about players from the 60s through the early 2000s, or maybe if you're someone that's younger and you'd like to get an idea of some of those legends that came before, this is definitely the channel for you because that's all I focus on. So I would recommend subscribing, and if that's content that you enjoy, I would greatly appreciate if you would posterize that like button. That would help me out a great deal. And with that being said, guys, let's get into today's build, okay? Yesterday we did James Worthy, right? And I just want to say, guys, if by some chance I kind of messed this up and I put this video out before I actually did the James Worthy video, right? Before I put the James Worthy video out, just know, I do all my recording over the weekend when I have time off work. Because through the week with work and then, life and everything, it's so difficult to get a moment to even sit down. So really the weekend is the only time that I have to do this. So if I post this and, was saying, yesterday I did, so-and-so, don't worry, you don't have to be like, man, I ain't seen no James Worthy video. What you talking about? It's coming. What I'm basically meaning is I'd initially planned on scheduling it to come out the day before this build, and I must have either, scheduled it the day after or the day after that, whatever the case may be. But just know that it's coming, right? And, anyway, just what I was saying was, is in that James Worthy video, I went through and I stumbled upon that by the shades of by accident, right? And I don't feel like, me personally, I don't feel like it was a good representation of James Worthy. And, I kind of said that throughout the video. So what I'm doing, guys, is I'm no longer focusing on shades of. I'm not trying to get shades of, the player that I'm doing the build on. I'm just building the player the way that I think that player played, right? Now, one thing we do know with the Magic Johnson build, right? We know that, we're not going to be able to get his height and his, we're not going to be able to get his height. We're not going to be able to get all of his attributes and everything the way they should be. But I think for a point guard, it maxes out at like 6'8", so we know we're not going to be able to be a 6'9". If you wanted to do this at small forward, you certainly could. But I wanted to keep it at point, right? And the way that I'm going to do this, guys, is we're doing a Magic build, right? So, because we're going up in height, right? I want to focus solely on playmaking because we are going to be going up so much in height. I feel like we need that to kind of offset everything else. Also, guys, with this, you could go with a couple different ones here. You could go with the speed and the strength. I'm going pure speed simply because, like I said, we're going up in height. And we know that that's going to basically just destroy the speed and the acceleration that we have already, right? So let's go ahead, guys, and let's look at the attributes, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm maxing out driving layup, driving dunk, close shot. Standing dunk, I'm going to put that up to a 44. And then I'm going to max out our post hook, right? Because while Magic didn't dunk a lot, he could dunk. So we want that maxed out. He was really, really good when he got to the lane. He was able to lay it up. Of course, he was good at close around the basket because of his height. And he had an amazing hook, which we're not necessarily going to be able to do because we don't have enough blue. But like I said, we had to do pure yellow because, with going up in height, we're going to lose so much ball control. That if you do it any other way, you're not going to be able to handle the ball like Magic could, right? We're going to max out our mid-range, and for our three-point shot, we're going to take that up to a 70. We're not going to touch our free throw and post fade. We're just, if you want to do free throw shooting, you could take away from some of these. You could take away like standing dunk, driving dunk if you wanted to, and put that on your free throw. But me personally, guys, I feel like doing a magic build, you need that post hook, right? And you're not really going to be doing a post fade. It's not really something that you would do as magic. So, and then we're going to max out everything in playmaking to get those badges, right? And then we're going to max out our perimeter and lateral. And then we're going to max out our offensive and defensive rebounding, and that'll take us to 0, right? So we've used all of our attributes. Now, guys, if you wanted to, right? If you wanted to take some from your post control and your offense and defensive rebound and put that on, other things like your shooting, you certainly could. I'm just doing this, like I said, like a magic build, right? I'm just trying to make it as close to magic as possible. And, you could take away from your 3-shot or your 3-point shot if you wanted to. But while Magic didn't shoot the 3 a lot, he was really good. He was really good at knocking them down. I remember the full court shot that he made. I think he just kind of threw it with, one-handed. And he made it. And then there was another one that was almost at half court. I think he got the rebound or something like that, and he came back out to the 3-point line, or it was a long rebound, and he just kind of circled around to get separation and put it up. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen those highlights, but it's one of those things, that I just kind of in my mind I could see those plays, and I think that's the way that they played out. But while I know that he didn't shoot the ball as good as like a Steph Curry or Bird or someone like that, he could certainly shoot the ball when he needed to, right? So now, If we look at where we are, okay, you want to go, you could go either way. If you want to do, true to Magic, I would say solid. We know that he was 6'9", but we can only go up to 6'8". And I think it's kind of funny. Each time I hit the up button, the shorts just kind of, like it's changing the height, but it's really not. Just kind of a weird thing that I just noticed. But anyway. So we'll do 6'8". His listed weight was 220, so we'll put him at that. Now, guys, with this, you could go up if you wanted to. Me, personally, I'm going to leave it where it is, simply because we're doing a magic build, guys. You want to be able to handle the ball as good as possible, right? You could go down even if you wanted to get that one extra. But I feel like just because you're only getting one extra for what you have to give up to get that, because you have to take it pretty much all the way down to get that +1. It's not really worth it. So I'm just going to leave it at where it is. And if we look at where we're at, okay, so we know for our physicals, we're going to get a +8, right? So if we look at our speed, guys, our speed's going to be a 91, okay? So that's going to be really good for a point guard of this size, right? And you'll have an acceleration of 88. You'll have a strength of 58 with a vertical of 73. So you'll be able to do very, very well with this build, guys. Once you get it maxed out and you get that gym rat badge, you're going to be able to do very, very well with that. So, and if we look, guys, at our finishing and our other attributes, we'll have a close shot of 87 with a driving layup of 81, driving dunk of 73, standing dunk of 67, and a post hook of 70, which that post hook is a little bit low. But, we do have those finishing badges that we'll be able to use to kind of, help that out a little bit, right? And we'll have a mid-range, guys, of 79 with a 3-point shot of 69, which on 22, guys, with 2K22, you're going to be able to knock those shots down. That won't be a problem, right? For pass accuracy, guys, we're going to have 91. 82 ball handling, which will be good. You'll be able to get some, dribble animations and things with that, which you should be able to off rip anyway. I'm pretty sure you'd be able to once you get to 78. I think it's anything above 75, you'll be able to get some dribble animation. So, and then you have post control of 86. Your perimeter and lateral quickness will be 71, and then you'll have a really good offensive and defensive rebounding. Your offensive rebounding will be a 68, and your defensive rebound will be 79, which for a point guard, that's really good, right? Now, guys, you do have, the slasher take, but it's a Magic build. It's going to be a playmaker, right? And we have made a pass first point guard with shades of Luka, and one of the great young players in the league today, right, guys? Luka. I really enjoy his game. He's fun to watch. It's really, I really hope that the Mavs, they can get him some help, right? I mean, because he just right now, I mean, look, I know Porzingis is I know he has talent, right? But here's my thing, guys, right? If you're a 7'3" center or power forward, whatever they have him playing at, and you're only getting like 5 rebounds a game, 7 rebounds a game, you need to work on that, right? And I know that he's a stretch, but even still, guys, I mean, we want to, we're wanting someone like that to be getting at least double-digit rebounds at that height, So that's all I'm saying. I just hope they get him some help and things like that in Dallas, because he's a really fun player to watch. So let's go ahead and let's look at our badges. Okay, so we know right away we're getting gold hook specialist, right? Because we want to be able to get those hook shots like Magic. And Magic, he had a really good hook, right? I mean, it wasn't as deadly as Kareem's, but it was. I mean, it was for a point guard. He had Magic could play any position, but it was really, really good, right? So you want to go slithery finisher as well. You could do acrobat, and you could even do fearless finisher. You could do fast twitch. You could really do whatever you wanted, right? But I feel like this is a really good badge layout for Magic. You got that hook specialist on gold with acrobat and slithery finisher on gold as well, and then fearless finisher on silver. Now, you do have these 4 shooting badges, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Hot Zone Hunter on gold. That's simply because with those hook shots, guys, you're going to get some hot zones, and with Hot Zone Hunter, that's going to increase that the ability to knock those down even more. So I feel like you really want that on there, right? And then for the last one, guys, it's a Magic build, so I feel like Clutch Shooter should be there. Because he was really, really clutch. So for this, guys, you want to do Bullet Passer, Dimer, Floor General, right? Those are all Magic traits, right? I would also do Post Playmaker because he did a lot. He did a lot of things out of the post. You could do Quick First Step. You definitely want to do Unpluckable because of the size and the fact that the dribbling, the ball handling isn't there quite where we want it. You could do Downhill as well if you wanted to. Or you could do Alley-Oop or Special Delivery, I guess. Which I feel like this right here would probably be better, right? Because Magic, he had some flashy passes, okay? And this, this is basically increases alley-oop throw success and the shot chance for receivers after a flashy pass. So I feel like that's a really good. That actually they should just rename that to Magic, right? So with that, guys, let's look at this. Okay, we got bullet passer and dimer, along with floor general, post playmaker, special delivery, quick first step, and unpluckable on Hall of Fame, and downhill on silver. Now, if you wanted to do needle threader on silver, you could. You've got options, right? I just feel like downhill would work well because of the size, and early on you're not going to have the greatest of speed, so it would really help you out with that, right? And guys, you've only got the one defensive badge, right? So you could go clamps, you could go intimidator, you could go interceptor, you can go pick dodger, really whichever you prefer. But because that lateral quickness and that perimeter defense is so poor on this build, I would recommend clamps. And that's just because you want to be able to stay in front of your, whoever you're defending, right? And that would help you. So just me personally, guys, I would go with clamps, but you do have other options. Like I said, intimidator, interceptor, pick dodger, pickpocket. I mean, you could go several different ways with this, right? Now, with this build, guys, I really think that this is a good Magic build. And while I don't know that I would do a point guard build at 6'8" today, like I said, you could definitely put him at small forward. You could even do this build at center, guys. And just imagine how awesome that would be, at the center position, especially if you play on the courts, right? This at a center position, with that ability, to pass and, control the ball and things like that. And you could work on some other things too, to make this even better. It would just be, I think it would be really fun to play with and be different. But that's just me personally. But there you have it, guys. I really feel like that is a good Magic Johnson build. And guys, look, I find it hard to believe, but if you're someone that you haven't seen Magic Johnson play, guys, and you're one of these younger guys that, you're like, Steph's the greatest point guard ever, hold up. Go watch Magic play first, okay? Go watch. Magic was one of those guys that I really believe Magic knew you were open before you knew you were open, right? He's one of those players that's just how it felt watching him play, right? He could see the play before it happens. He was just that good. And I know if you're someone that's never seen him play, you're like, that's impossible. Well, go watch Magic play, and then you'll see what I'm getting at. He saw the game, and his basketball IQ was just unreal. He wasn't the shooter that Steph was, no. But he was the best pure point guard I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot, guys. I mean, I've seen, not only Magic, I've seen Stockton, CP3, Nash, guys like that, really, really good point guards. But Magic is, he's above those guys. He's like that next tier. He's that, he's, when people say point god, I think of Magic. Magic is the only one that I think of. I don't think of anybody else. Because I feel like, a 6'9" point guard that could see the floor like he saw the floor, that made the passes that he made on a nightly basis. Showtime wasn't just, one or two plays that he did over his career, guys. He made these passes on a regular basis, right? So if you're someone that's younger and you haven't seen Magic play, I'm just saying, before you say Steph Curry is the greatest point guard of all time, or before you say that LeBron is the greatest facilitator of all time, go watch Magic, and you'll see what I'm talking about, guys. He was unbelievably good. But with that being said, guys, if you enjoy content like this, if you enjoy those legends of the game, I would recommend subscribing. If you enjoyed the video, I would greatly appreciate if you'd posterize that like button. But have a wonderful day, night, evening, wherever you are. Have a good one.